Dragon Ball Z, the English dub, was released in 1999 if we are going by the in-house Funimation Texas dub. Before then, there was the 1996 Ocean dub with Canadian voice actors, still produced by Funimation, but obviously without the local Funimation Texas talent that we have, even to this day, with Chris Sabat, Sean Schemmel, Cynthia Kranz, Kara Edwards, people like that, new to the cast, Jason Douglas, Ian Sinclair, all of those people, Funimation Texas voice actors, and that was created, as I said, in 1999, when Funimation kinda didn't really have much money to fly in and out of Vancouver, so they had to go in-house and have the, replacement music score done, locally by Bruce Faulconer and Faulconer Productions. So yeah, 20 years later, in Dragon Ball Super's case, we have an English dub by Funimation, the in-house Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Super. How do these two compare with one another? The Dragon Ball Z dub versus the Dragon Ball Super English dub from 1999 to 2017. Well, I personally think that, the Dragon Ball Z English dub is far inferior to the Dragon Ball Super dub, obviously, because the in-house dub, the in-house talent that we had in the 1999 Funimation dub, were pretty much nobodies off the street, and I don't mean literal homeless people, but I do mean, people without voice acting experience whatsoever, for the most part at least, getting a chance to voice in, one of the biggest anime in the West, Dragon Ball Z, that was the anime, that was the gateway anime performed by amateurs, by amateur voice actors back in 1999, and of course we had the very, seasoned Ocean Studio actors, like Brian Drummond, Peter Kalamis, and before Peter Kalamis joined, it was Ian James Collette, very seasoned, very veteran voice actors play these roles. So when we had the in-house, Texas voice cast, it was quite jarring. For people that watched back in, the 90s, I wasn't there, I wasn't even born, but yeah, so the people that grew up in the 90s, it was obviously a jarring change, so obviously, those English dub in-house voice actors, 20 years later with Dragon Ball Super, they would have tons more experience with voice acting, anime and video games and whatnot, so the voice actors have become seasoned, So obviously the Dragon Ball Super dub is better, but it's not just performances, as the Dragon Ball Super script in the dub is far superior than the Dragon Ball Z English dub. Now I make an argument that the Dragon Ball Z Kai English dub script is better, in many ways than the Dragon Ball Super English dub script, because I think personally that with Dragon Ball Z Kai, it was Funimation's time to redeem itself, with the in-house, Texas voice cast with the Dragon Ball Z original dub, it kind of sucked in terms of the script, in terms of the music, and I like the Faulconer music, like I'm not a, total basher of the score, but I'm just saying that it just didn't fit Dragon Ball. Even though I like Faulconer music, it didn't, fit Dragon Ball. So, they had to basically just try harder and basically it was basically their redemption after the travesty known as the Dragon Ball Z 1999 dub. And it is pretty bad if you go back and look at it, with a critical eye. And I'm not just talking about a critical eye, being very, very objective in terms of, critiquing it. It's pretty obvious that the 1999 dub compared to Kai is, night and day, and even compared to the Dragon Ball Super dub. But in terms of the script, I believe that the Dragon Ball Z Kai English dub script is better than even Dragon Ball Super, and even Resurrection F and whatnot, because they had something to prove, they had something to strive for. Dragon Ball Z Kai was their redemption, and when it came to Dragon Ball Super, while I'm not saying it's terrible like the Dragon Ball Z 1999 dub, I'm just saying that they kind of drop the ball with certain moments because, for instance, Super Saiyan Please and all of these sort of meme jokes, because Dragon Ball Super is airing at a very interesting time, in meme culture and stuff like that. Twitter is where we get a lot of our memes and stuff, and Dragon Ball Super has been memed, and Funimation knows it, and I know that Funimation is a reliable anime dubbing company, but they do take a lot of these memes to heart, like Yamcha and, being a shitty character and just, being a failure, Super Saiyan and the markability of that and stuff like that. Goku and Vegeta's rivalry, they take that and they just memify it, which kind of hurts the Dragon Ball Super property as a whole in terms of, dubbing and whatnot. So while the Dragon Ball Super dub, in terms of the script, is way better than the Dragon Ball Z English dub, in the 90s, when Funimation had to go in-house, it kind of, the Dragon Ball Super dub is inferior to Dragon Ball Kai, I must say. The Dragon Ball Z Kai English dub is way better because they had something to prove. But this is not a Kai video, and, moving on, the script is fine in the Dragon Ball Super dub, way better than the Z dub, but still it has issues. Now moving on to the music. The music in the Dragon Ball Z English dub was composed by Bruce Faulconer and, his studio Faulconer Productions in Texas. This is an in-house sort of score that didn't really fit Dragon Ball. I mean, it's cool music, but it just didn't really fit Dragon Ball in my opinion. And yeah, it's just sort of synth, hard rock type of techno music, kind of that sort of blend of genres, while the Dragon Ball Super dub, simply put, just uses the original Japanese score, which I like, nonetheless, which I like better, far better than the Dragon Ball Z original 1999 score. So yeah, why exactly? Well, a couple of reasons. I like Sumitomo's music better than Faulconer anyway, and also it's just true to the original Japanese, and I want it to be as accurate as possible. Now, I'm not a complete weeaboo, and basically just want a line-for-line, translation of the original Japanese. That's not how dubbing works, and I've said that multiple times. Dubbing is an adaptation. The Dragon Ball Super dub is an adaptation of the Dragon Ball Super Japanese anime. It really is. It's not a one-to-one translation, and it shouldn't either, but I'm just saying that the scripts and the music, while it's better than the Dragon Ball Z 1999 dub, it kind of falls flat in terms of the script and whatnot sometimes. And the voice, just the voice work sometimes, it's just not as good as the Dragon Ball Z Kai dub. I'm not sure what it is. I just think that the Kai dub had more to prove, and, for that reason, it was just much superior. Everyone tried a lot harder in Kai, which is interesting, But the Dragon Ball Super dub, while they are doing a good job, it's not as great as the Dragon Ball Z Kai dub, but everything beats the Dragon Ball Z 1999 dub, with Faulconer and I am the hope of the universe, blah blah blah. Some of the script changes in the 1999 version, the in-house Funimation dub, are simply put just terrible stuff. I am the hope of the universe, ally to good, nightmare to you. That's just terrible. And it completely, undermines Goku's character, and everyone's talked about this. And other stuff, that's kind of minor, but it's still kind of relevant in saying that the Dragon Ball Z 1999 dub isn't as great as everyone hypes it up to be. I made a video a long time ago about why Dragon Ball Z Kai, that dub is better than the Dragon Ball Super dub, so I guess this is kind of a pseudo-sequel, slash open forum type discussion, since this is an open forum, so please go and leave your comments in the comment section down below. So yeah, I really want to hear what you guys have to say regarding the Dragon Ball Z Kai versus the Dragon Ball Z versus the Dragon Ball Super dub. So I think we can all agree here that the 1999 dub is very much a product of its time, and that's okay. I don't hate the Dragon Ball Z in-house dub, I really don't. It's just a product of its time, is all. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hard to describe. You know, it's very 90s, much like how the Dragon Ball GT dub is very 90s and early 2000s with the Step into the Grand Tour rap, you know? And just certain, you know, Malcolm Menz's soundtrack, you know, stuff like that. Rap music in Dragon Ball GT, you know, synth rock, heavy metal music in the Dragon Ball Z dub, and also just some of the script changes just to appeal to children and to Americanize it. It's very much a product of its time, so I shouldn't hate it that much, and I don't hate it anyway. I mean, it's Dragon Ball, so if I was stuck on a desert island, you know, a deserted island, I would rather the Falconer music and the English dub of Dragon Ball Z than nothing. But yeah, just the Japanese and the, you know, compared to the Dragon Ball Super dub even, it's just, you know, far inferior. And that's all I have to say. That's going to do it for me, so please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And also I do tons of other Dragon Ball dub videos, so go check that out in the description. I have a playlist full of Dragon Ball Super dub videos for your viewing convenience, you know, updated all the time. And yeah, I just want to know, what do you guys think regarding the Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Super dub? I've explained why the Dragon Ball Super dub is obviously superior, because the voice actors are, you know, more seasoned, the scripts have gotten better, with better translations and whatnot, and they use the original Japanese script. So yeah, it's an adaptation. The Dragon Ball Super dub is an adaptation, but I believe the Dragon Ball Z dub is just a complete butchering of the source material. That's going to do it for me, so again, please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.